Good afternoon. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and trustees of St. George's School, I am honored to welcome you to the 2022 Prize Day exercises. We are here to recognize the contributions and achievements of the amazing St. George's class of 2022. And faculty and trustees, you may be seated. In addition to being Prize Day, today is also Memorial Day, a day when we remember those, including 52 graduates of St. George's, who bravely gave their lives in service and defense of our nation. Upon the dedication of our Memorial Schoolhouse in 1923, Major M.H. Leonard, a member of the class of 1915 and a war hero himself, spoke lovingly of his classmates who are memorialized in that building. You will have in this building a constant reminder of men who have fought for what they believed to be right. Some have found a glorious death in so doing, and they face their maker, knowing that they braved the known terrors of the earth without fear, that they gave everything they had to a just cause. There could be no greater inspiration for those who will be here in the years to come. I ask that we pause for a moment of silence and reflection to remember the bravery and sacrifice of the 52 St. George's graduates and all of the other courageous men and women who have lost their lives fighting for our country. Thank you. Class of 2022, here you are, gathered far too quickly to celebrate you and your many accomplishments. To begin today, I thought I'd take you back to a day this spring, Friday, April 1st, and it's not a story about April Fool's Day. But it was about 11:45, late morning, and the entire school was gathered in the Arts Center. We weren't there for assembly, as we often are on Friday mornings. We weren't there to attend an opening in the Hunter Gallery or for a play or a concert. It was Revisit Day, a day when students who have been accepted to St. George's have the opportunity to visit campus, attend classes, and be convinced that SG is the school for them. Thanks to our incredible grounds and maintenance crews, the campus looked gorgeous. You were all primed to shepherd these young potential dragons to classes, lunch, and everything in between. And unlike most years, the weather was actually decent. So, 11:45, the admitted students and their parents are all sitting nicely in Madeira, listening to a wonderful group of current dragons tell them all about life on the hilltop. In the meantime, the entire school crept silently into the Arts Center. We proceeded to our assigned spots, some in the lobby, some on the sides, some of us behind the curtain on the stage, not saying a word. And as the panel ended, we heard Jasmine yell, "September!" And with that, the dulcet tones of Earth, Wind, and Fire emanated from inside Madeira, cueing the first group of dancers who ran out on the stage. Pretty soon a second group joined them, and a third, and then a group danced down one aisle and another group down the other one, the last group across the back. There was shimmying and twirling and hands waving. It was a flash mob for the ages. And then, almost as soon as it started, it was over. The music ended, and you all exited, taking with you the visiting students. And as often happens, I was left with the parents. And it was a kind of a tough act to follow. The last notes of September are still echoing. The energy is lingering. And after a pause, after giving them a few moments to settle, I said to the parents, listen, and this, in case this isn't obvious, we did not do that to show off our dance moves. We did it to show off the power of our community. And class of 2022, the power of that community came from you. Yes, all year, it has been all you. Your willingness to jump in, to participate, to bring your whole selves to everything you do, we do, on that day and every day has been truly remarkable. You have made this hilltop sing and occasionally dance. And after spending well over 30 years of my life in high school, I want you to know that this isn't typical. At other schools, public and private, students are often insecure or cynical or both. They sit back, scared to jump in for fear that they will look bad, sometimes even making the fun of those who do participate. Students literally become too cool for school. reluctant to engage, avoiding opportunities for fear of how they will look. And truly, I don't think we adults are always much better. The desire to look cool doesn't necessarily fade with age. You hear me talk all the time about the power of community, and I can see eyes rolling, how it's the most important work we do here. I think sometimes people assume that I focus on community simply because I want this hilltop to be a happy place, filled with dancing and barbecues and talent shows and spirited fans. And I do want all that. But what I want more is for you to go out into the world and replicate what you have learned here elsewhere. You have demonstrated immense capacity to cultivate a sense of community. Let me share some examples. You've supported each other through sad times. You show up, even when you don't exactly know what to do or what to say, even when it feels awkward and you're a little insecure. You do this for relatively small things, when someone doesn't make varsity or doesn't get a role in the school play. For bigger things, when someone doesn't get into their first choice college, or they're going through a tough breakup. And for the biggest things, the losses, the tragedies. You've pulled us together when the fabric of the immediate community or our nation has been torn. You name the problem, you hold each other accountable, you talk about it, you reassert our values, you organize walkouts, you push for change. You know that change doesn't happen instantaneously, you know it's going to take time, but you also press us to face the issue, reminding us that we can't sweep our troubles under the rug. You've tended to the small things, holding doors, smiling, making room at the lunch table. You say thank you. You are inclusive, reducing barriers to access, making sure that there are ways for everybody to participate. You've celebrated each other. I have never seen a community champion one another the way that you do. The genuine love and pride you demonstrate for your fellow dragons is humbling. You've disagreed. Unlike much of the rest of the world, you know how to engage in constructive and civil debate, asking questions, seeking understanding, learning. You know how to win and how to lose, and how to be gracious in either circumstance. You have fun, you play games, you laugh. And in this crazy post-ish COVID world, where so much SG history was potentially lost, you've ensured that our many traditions, the rituals that serve this strong community, are carried forth. One of my favorite of those traditions, which we did this morning, is singing the hymn Jerusalem. As you may have noticed, I cry every time we sing it together. I will also note that I don't need my hymnal. I know the words by heart. In her sermon last week, Rev Kirby touched on the applicability of those lyrics to our community, and I want to say a little bit more. What we know as Jerusalem was originally a poem written by William Blake, titled "And Did Those Feet in Ancient Time." It was published in 1808, at the height of the Industrial Revolution in Britain, and then it was later set to music by Sir Hubert Parry in 1916, as Britain was experiencing the ravages of World War I. Needless to say, neither of these were particularly happy periods in British history. And while there are so many layers to Blake's poem, at its base, it draws on the long-held notion of Jerusalem as a metaphor for heaven, for paradise. It's a place of love, a place of peace. At a time of misery, when beauty had been clouded out, when the dark satanic mills had taken over, William Blake was inspiring his readers to rebuild that utopian vision in England. Bring me my bow of burning gold. Bring me my arrows of desire. Bring me my spear. Oh, clouds unfold. Bring me my chariot of fire. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem in England's green and pleasant land. This will come as no surprise, but I think that paradise, that place of love Blake is talking about, is synonymous with community. You often hear me say that I want this hilltop to sing with purpose, respect, pride, joy, love. To use Blake's metaphor, I call on us each year to create Jerusalem here on this hilltop. And that, my beautiful class of 2022, is what you have done. With your bows of burning gold, your arrows of desire, your spears, your chariots of fire, you have built Jerusalem here in this green and pleasant land. And now, my friends, your work is to go out and build Jerusalem elsewhere, You've got the skills to do it. You know how to support people, how to disagree, how to hold the door, how to smile, how to love, and you've even got some dance moves. And while the idea of leaving this afternoon, of driving away from this hilltop, likely feels a little terrifying, my friends, as someone who has watched you grow and learn over the 4 years, I am confident that you are ready to shine forth upon the clouded hills. So pack up your metaphorical bows, spears, and arrows, and oh, clouds unfold. Because, my friends, you've got some Jerusalems to build. Thank you.